I'm Jenny Cvetoshenko and I'm an actress and a writer. So Brown Sugar is a short movie which I have written with David. It's a love story. It's also an exploration of two young people, how the relationship affects them in the way that they grow, and also the drug addiction, how that affects their relationship as well. And my role in it, I played Leanne, who is one part of the couple. My character's development during the course of the film. So Leanne, at the beginning, she's very ambitious. She's very intelligent. She's got these big plans in life. You know, she's studying international relations. She wants to travel, and then she meets Fidel, and she falls madly, deeply in love with him. And in a way, her strengths do become a little bit weaker. Because as a character, she's had a lot of heartbreak in her life, and she's got this codependency on people, and she does develop this codependency with Fidel. So she kind of throws away a lot of her ambitions and everything just for him and for this relationship and for this love that they have. Some of the processes that I have used to embody Leanne, I did a lot of research. YouTube and Reddit were my best friends. I researched a lot on YouTube, different interviews and documentaries about addicts, heroin addicts, and in general drug addicts, but also Reddit. There was a lot of subreddits for drug addicts and their personal stories and how they come to be in a situation and why, etc. So that was extremely helpful. As well as that, I also, a lot of the movies actually inspired me. So like Candy was one of the biggest inspirations, Heaven Knows What, also even Euphoria. And the other thing that I have used in terms of Leanne, we do have similarities, but at this stage in life, we are quite different, because I would not throw my life away for a man. But when I was 19, I would have. I did have, in the past, relationships where I just dropped my friends, my family, all my plans for a guy. So it was really getting myself back to that place where I was a lot more vulnerable, where I was just a lot more dependent on partners and just more desperate to just be around wrong men. But yeah, just drawing on from past experiences as well as a lot of research into addictions. What first attracted me into the discipline of acting and what continues to inspire me to act. Ever since I was little, I always loved performing, like singing, dancing, acting. Unfortunately, singing is not something I was good at. So even though I did try, it just didn't work out because I can't sing. But I did always perform. And then my mum is Russian, and in Russian upbringing, acting is not a real job. You've got to be a lawyer or a doctor. And I did want it to go to a drama school, but she was like, absolutely no, you're going to be a starving waitress. You're not doing that. So I did just get a regular job, but I always had this little feeling inside of me, like, this is not what I'm meant to be doing, like 9 to 5 is not for me. And yeah, then I decided I just had enough, and I went to an acting school, and I went to the Unseen. And yeah, from then on, I'm just so in love with acting. It's so amazing when you find something you're really passionate about. And I think it's got its challenges, but I just think I'm so incredibly lucky to have found something that just really makes me feel so alive when I do it, because a lot of people don't have that in life. And I think just to even have it and to realise that's what you want to do in life, that's just a huge blessing. So that, I suppose, that also continues to inspire me, because I love it so much. I enjoy it, and there is really nothing else I would rather do with my life. And also seeing all my friends achieve their goals and just do incredible things in their career, it's really, really inspiring. And I think the best piece of advice that I was given with acting, I've been given a lot of great advice, but one of the recent ones is actually to do with auditions, because everyone gets very nervous. You come in and you put this pressure on yourself that you need to book this job, and you usually freak out and you end up messing it up because you're so nervous. But what you've got to look at is, don't view auditions as you're doing it to book a job. Just do it as you're given a chance to act. And for those 2 minutes or however long that you're in the room, that role is yours. Whether you get it or not at the end, for those 2 minutes, it is yours. So enjoy it and just play with it and just take it as a chance to do what you love. And I think once you start viewing it in that way, it becomes a lot easier. And you actually start enjoying auditioning, and you start appreciating that even though it's a hard process, it is part of what makes it so special. So, yeah. What is my dream role? So my dream role, I would actually love to play a rock star, like someone like a Harley Quinn type of role, someone who's got like no inhibitions whatsoever, just someone completely crazy. With just someone that's just really themselves and they don't care about the consequences. And yeah, I would love to play someone like that. I think that would be really fun to explore. What have I learned from brown sugar? Brown sugar's been such a huge learning curve. One of the biggest things for me was I've always struggled with being vulnerable and displaying vulnerability and just opening myself up when it comes to acting and playing more somewhat weaker roles. And I always worry that maybe I can't go to these emotionally heavy scenes, maybe I don't have the ability to do it. And with brown sugar, I didn't even have to try. And what really I've learned is how much of a difference the makeup and the set and the actors that you're working with, and even the team that you're working with, every single person there, when they make you feel comfortable, when the set really looks realistic, the makeup is there, and the actor that you're working with is very generous, which actually David was. One thing about him is a very generous actor. And I didn't have any problem at all getting into the role and getting really, really emotional. It would be really difficult not to. So that's probably my biggest takeaway. It's been just how much of an importance the right team, the right people and the set and everything makes. And to also believe in yourself, because I doubted myself a lot. And since doing brown sugar, I know I can do all these really heavy and emotional scenes and characters. So it's given me a huge boost in confidence in my abilities. My hopes for brown sugar that a lot of people find a bit of themselves in the characters, because without giving too much away, even though things do get rough, they are both ultimately, they're both very loving and very nice people. And I think both of them they're both quite altruistic. They might not display it in the right ways, but they are. And they're very giving people. And even though things do get bad, I just think that they're such interesting characters to watch. And I don't know, I just think it's interesting to see also how people with ambitions and dreams, and when they're individuals, they have all these plans for life, and then how much meeting someone who really affects you can change the course of their life. And also drug addiction as well, because it can really turn the strongest person into someone who gives everything up just for their next hit. So maybe also it would stop someone from ever trying heroin because it's not a good idea. Yeah.